Welcome into another Banditland Boulevard. I'm your host, Trevor Howard. Tony is unfortunately he's at work, so he cannot join me, but my sister is joining me here for her first time on the show. I know my brother was on a
Hello.
couple times. And we're joined by Brad McCulley to recap this championship year that the Buffalo Bandits had. First of all, Brad, congratulations on such a great season and a hell of an accomplishment with the Bandits.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Still doesn't feel real, so it's pretty awesome.
I mean, in front of 18,300 people, I think it was, beating the Mammoth. I think that was like the ultimate final boss for the Bandits this year. I mean,
Rematch.
the narrative going into it was like, oh, the Mammoth, the Buffalo Bandits can't ever seem to get over the hump of the Mammoth, but they finally did. And in probably the most convincing win I've seen all season long, on a 13-4, just absolute destruction of the Mammoth. Game three, when it mattered the most, I think this was a complete team win, Brad.
Yeah, 100%. I think a lot of guys have said it in some other interviews, but kind of just to reiterate it, like that was our most complete game of the season. I think from the back end out to we had a couple good ones, obviously against Toronto in those playoff games there, but that one, like when it mattered, obviously all the pressure's on. You can think about whatever happened last year, like just trying to not let history repeat itself. But yeah, man, like guys just came out, played, everybody did their job, like goaltending out, defense, face off, offense, like everything clicked, everything was firing. There's never really a time in the game where it was like stressful. Like it was like, I don't know, 12-4 with like 4 minutes left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like we were on the bench and we were all like, let's not get excited yet. Like
Right.
this could get crazy. Like with like a minute left, that's when we were like, okay, W. Like it was probably long before then, but like we were like with a minute left, that's when everyone kind of started dropping the composure and losing it a bit. So it was good. But yeah, like what a game. It was something else.
Yeah,
It
like there were
was.
people in our section doing the wave during the second quarter. We were like, no, or no,
Yeah.
no,
Stop
the
this right
second,
now.
Yeah.
yeah, the second
There's still
quarter.
some game left. Like knock it
We're like,
off.
that's
Like things
such a
are going well,
goocher.
but
Right.
yeah, it's something else. I mean, our fans are just so passionate, right? Like we're so lucky to have you guys in the stands and you guys deserve this. So we're happy we could bring one to you.
And it was awesome. I mean, I was Lily, correct me if I'm wrong, but right around like the 6 minute mark of the fourth quarter, it was like, all right, 10-4, 11-4, 12-4. And I was like, all right, we're gonna win this freaking title. Like
Mhm.
this is ours. And we had some we had some people sitting above us up in section 325 that were bringing out the joints. Somehow they smuggled in a little Zaza
Nice.
up in the Keybank
Nice.
Center with like 2 minutes to go. They started lighting it
Very
up.
impressive.
The usher was really kind of scoping the area out, seeing where it was coming
Yeah.
from, but I think they got away with it. But I mean,
That's
Oh, they
ultimate
definitely did.
celebratory type of thing there, because I mean, it was a great game. The only time where I was really nervous was before the game and during the first quarter, because if you remember, that first quarter was very low scoring. And then when Josh, I mean, when he scored that goal with literally zero time left
Oh
in the
yeah, it was
first quarter,
1-1 until from like deep that
beyond the
little
restraining line. I mean,
yeah.
I said it was the ultimate this dude impression,
Oh
shooting
yeah.
Mhm.
beyond the restraining line, scoring.
Oh yeah.
But I was turning around in my section. I was saying it's goals like this that are going to come back and haunt the other team for the rest
For
of the
sure.
game. And it seemed like you guys really never looked back after that.
Well, that's the thing, right? I think obviously with like on offense, like when you're kind of getting things going, like sometimes you get those bounces, right? Like sometimes the ball goes in from that far out. It'll trickle in, or maybe you get that loose ball that turns into a breakaway somehow, or whatever's going on. But we were getting some kicks and bounces and a couple lucky ones our way that just helps your momentum, right? All it does is just build everything you're already doing. So that was huge. That was nice. And I think when Josh got that one, it was like a little sigh of relief. Okay, let's get into the second quarter now and let's just continue what we're doing. So whatever we're doing seems to be working. So let's just continue ripping it that way.
And it worked.
Absolutely.
It
It did.
worked.
Yeah. Yeah.
It definitely worked, and you got on the score sheet too. So I was going to ask you, like, how does it feel in a crucial game three? You know, even though you scored that insurance goal to go up, like I think it was 10-4 or 11-4, something like that, but to contribute in game three of the NLL finals and in front of pretty much a sold out Banditland, like, how does that feel?
Yeah, that was the best goal of my career by far. I think I've gotten like some game winners and stuff like that too, but that one was easily my favorite.
The
Like
quick
my
stick tic tac toe play.
Yeah, like my job's a bit different, right? Out there, we got a lot of guys who put the ball in the back of the net a lot. We got some high efficiency scorers on our team, guys who can do it. And I really don't mind being the guy who gets them open, gets through the middle. Like I do my job, I play my role. Um, I don't need any of the recognition, but yeah, to tap one in there and get that going, that was pretty exciting.
Definitely. I think it was really the nail in the coffin, I think, of any potential Colorado comeback. I mean, it was
Well,
10-4.
I
There was a
think it
lot of
kind of
time
just
left.
exclamated like everything we were doing before because I think Spanger scored in transition, and
Yep.
then like 35 seconds later, I scored, and then right off the face-off
9
from me,
seconds
Bandits
later.
scored.
Yep.
Yeah, and then it was like this is over, like this is
Yeah.
done. So
It was
yep.
awesome. We didn't even get to like sit down. We were celebrating your goal and we were still up and everybody. And then comes in right off the bat, another goal. It was like amazing. We are like, we got
Yeah,
this. We're done.
I know it was like this is awesome, but like even then on the bench, it was like don't get too high. This
Right.
could go south, kind of thing, right? Like everyone in the stands was losing it, but Colorado's a good team, right? Like they haven't given up all year. Not sure why they would now. So, but yeah, it was good.
I mean, I think just this whole season alone is like something you'd see out of like an ESPN 30 for 30 type of special. I mean, all these players going down with injuries and then the whole narrative, what are the Bandits going to do without their stars and whatever, and only losing 4 games, your secondary guy stepping up and scoring a bunch of goals, and then overcoming the narrative of the Bandits can get there but they can't finish the job, and they finally do at the end of the season. I knew that they had a legitimate shot when you guys were playing extremely well when Josh Byrne went down in February. I had a very, very good thought that you guys can go all the way. And then when you throw on top of that, you look at the Rochester playoff game, you drop a 20 burger on them. I'm like, okay, like these guys aren't going away without a fight. And you guys never went away, going 5-1 in the playoffs. And what does this next season feel like going into it with a title to defend?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty easy to like think, obviously, like, oh yeah, like we finally did it. There's a lot of guys on that team who have been on it a lot longer than me, trying very hard to do that, like Dane and Pre,
Yep.
other guys, right? Like just to name, but like it felt really good to do that for those guys because like they've been in the league so long and they've I don't want to make them seem old, but they've been in the league so long, and guys who've just been fantastic players and done so much. And like what Dane said, like to not have anything to show for it. Like Dane's got all the personal accolades a guy could want.
Yep.
We wanted what we got on Saturday night the most, right? So I was really happy I could finally get something like that for them. Like I was kind of joking, like with Kyle Buchanan. I was like, "Hey, easy league, eh? Like my 2 years I've been in it, I've gone to a finals and now I've won one, and I've gone to 2 finals in 2 years." And he's like, "I killed to be where you're at," because obviously that was Bucky's. I think it was Bucky's first one.
Yeah. He was in San Diego before Buffalo scooped him up,
Yeah,
I think. Yeah.
and he's been waiting, man. He's been waiting, and he's one of the best players and best teammates I've been around. And I just happy to do it. But it's kind of interesting because obviously, to go back to your question, like, yeah, we were like, yeah, we won, and now we're all kind of like, well, let's keep winning.
Yep.
Like now that we've done it, why don't we just keep it rocking? Like nobody's leaving. Everybody's rocking. We still got the best fans in the building. We're just gonna build on it now. This is one of quite a few.
I love it. And I mean, is Matt Vince with that? Does he going in with that mentality? Like, man, if I win one with the Bandits, I mean, I want to win another one. Is that like his like little Dusty Baker mentality? If I win one, I'm gonna win two.
I sure hope so, man. That guy is a winner. So I got no idea like what the deal is. I haven't gotten the retirement scout on anything on what's going on. I didn't hear anybody said we won. I'm done. So
Good.
I have no idea. But
It's pretty good.
if he wants to keep coming back, I'm completely okay with it.
I was gonna say he's the GOAT. I think he could play until he's 50. But yeah, have you been thinking about? I know this is probably one of Lily's questions here, but was there any talk in the locker room about a potential goal song change for any of your teammates?
I don't think so. I don't think
Nothing?
anyone. I think everyone liked theirs. I mean, Dane changes his every year. Same with Josh.
Yeah. Yep.
I kind of like mine. I don't know if I'd go something different, but we'll see. I don't know. That's actually stressful when you have to try
I
and
can
come up with one and
imagine.
everything. You're like, I got no idea. It helps to go to a Sabres game
Yep.
And then when they score, you hear some songs, you're like, that could go,
A good
something like that,
variety of songs too. I mean,
right?
Tage Thompson's got the country music blasting, and then obviously Nick Weiss is a big country guy too, because
Oh yeah,
we hear Garth Brooks every time that guy scores. So
oh yeah, you got to get
it's a
friends in low places going.
it's a
I like hearing a
pretty
little
sweet
Whitney with
variety.
hearing a little Whitney with Jeff Skinner. Can't beat
Yeah.
Yeah,
that. I mean,
nothing
come
wrong with
on.
that. That's not a bad idea either.
See, I actually had a suggestion. I was thinking somebody, I don't even care, somebody. I like Give It To Me by Nelly Furtado and Timbaland. I think that
Just
would make
Good
a
JT.
song.
great goal song.
Yep.
Yeah, and
That seems like
JT, of
that
course,
seems like Dehoka. That could be up his alley.
right?
He likes that one.
He's rocking a little Sean Paul, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's
This
got
season.
Get Busy right now with
Yep.
his. Yeah,
Yep.
awesome.
Man, I mean, that was just such a good season, and we are proud to announce that we are going to be season ticket holders next year. We'll be down in 119. We're going to be right next to Tony and the Giant Boxhead. So
Nice, I love it. That's awesome.
we'll be down there next year because I mean, we went to most of the games, most of the home games this year, but I mean,
Yeah.
we were just buying tickets at the front office and stuff like that. So, and so I'll be in the front row. I don't know if you've seen anything of my attire at any of the games since after the St. Patrick's Day game, and she's already laughing over there. But I could probably show it to you after. But I have a orange ghost face mask that I wear every single game at home. It was a white one. I painted it orange, and I'm undefeated at games wearing that
Oh,
thing. So
that's huge.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep wearing
We're
that.
gonna need you to keep coming with that thing then.
Yeah, I mean, we scared Denver out of town. What other games we go to? The Riptide game, I
Yep.
think was the first one where I wore it, and then
I
there
mean,
were
we
a
scared
bunch
the
of other good
Mammoth
ones. Yeah,
and the one
Mammoth.
where it really counts.
Yeah,
you got
where
the
it
big
absolutely.
ones. Got the big ones out.
Oh yeah, and then you got the guys down there with the box head, and you got Kiss guy with the face paint, and then I mean, the amount of times I turned around to my brother and my sister at the game, and I said, "What other city? There is no other
Yeah, I
city
know
that
there
would
isn't
put on a
another
show
one.
like
Only
this."
in
There isn't
Buffalo.
another. It's crazy. It's awesome.
It's fantastic, and the whole party
Yeah.
in the plaza thing. And what was really cool was to see Billy D go on the field after Dane won MVP.
I
That was
know.
very, very cool to see as well.
He's a large human being. It was good. He
Oh,
came walking on the floor. I was like, oh, God.
I mean, he's a beast. I have a couple questions. I mean, first of all, what was the best regular season game of this year? And then, I mean, we already know the best playoff game of the season for you guys this year, but through the ups and downs of this season, and everything was unpredictable, especially the injury report before every single week in every single regular season game. What was probably your favorite regular season game from the 2023 season?
Probably after Toronto kicked the crap out of us in Toronto.
Yeah. Oh,
When
late
they
in the
came-
season. Yeah.
When they came to Buffalo late in the season and we beat them, that was probably my favorite one.
Yeah.
That was good. That was just sweet revenge, and it just set the
Definitely.
tone for the playoff series, which was good because obviously you never really know how it's going to go down, but it was probably going to be us in the East the
It
whole
helped
time.
you clinch the #1 overall seed too, I think.
Oh,
after
did
that
it?
win.
That's good.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah,
think
it
so.
did too. Well, I think that one clinched first in the East.
First in the East, yeah, and then
Yeah.
the week after, because I
And
think
then,
San
yeah, we
Diego
beat-
lost.
Yeah, we beat somebody, and then but that one was just good because it was like they just worked us over in Toronto, and it was such a piss off. It's such a rivalry game, right? Like we just played so out of character.
Yeah.
So that one to come back and just kind of let them have it like that one was good. And that was like our offense kind of finally found our groove a bit, and we were just putting goals in. Like things were coming a little bit better. So that was easily that one.
That was fantastic. Lily, what about yours? What was your? I mean, we went to a bunch. We
did.
even went to the 585 in Rochester to
We
go to a
did.
game too.
I like it.
Yeah.
I think one of my favorite moments from this season was actually it was during the St. Patrick's game, which that game was kind of, a letdown.
bummer.
But
Bummer.
one of my favorite moments was your fight with Josh Sullivan. I
Yeah.
just want to know what was going through your head. Like what goes through your head before you totally just lay it on somebody? Because I feel like I would black out in a moment like that, and I
Yeah,
wouldn't be able to
you
answer
do.
this.
You do.
For sure.
That one was a little bit. That was my decision, just because he was getting lippy the whole game. To be honest with
Mhm.
you, so was I.
Mouthing
Like,
off. Yeah.
I'm the same way, right? Like whatever it is, he was playing hard, and we were losing, and I was sick of it. So as soon as me and him were having some words, we had a problem during the game. It's like, okay, well now you beat us, so I'm gonna settle it and figure this out on
Yeah,
my
just
end.
go for
So,
it.
yeah, right? Why not? He
And
was
then
good about it. I
Dalton
didn't have to do
Solver,
anything
hype
crazy.
man.
Yeah, he took his stuff off and we had a good go. So that was fine. But yeah, I mean, nothing really goes through your mind. I mean, usually your adrenaline pumps up so much that you actually do like blackout. Like it's hard to like remember being in a fight.
Right.
And I never knew that until I got my first one. And like you're trying to recall what happened. You're like, I have no idea. Because your adrenaline just goes through the roof. Like you don't really remember being in the fight. Like I'll be like watching afterwards, like watching a video, and you're like, "Oh, I did get punched there," or something like that, or "Oh, I missed here." Like it's kind of interesting, but yeah,
Right.
not a whole lot's going through. I think when it's going through my mind, I'm just thinking, "Don't lose in front of all these fans."
Yeah, I
And you
mean, I've
didn't.
seen. No, absolutely not. I mean, we saw the replay, and for the fans that were still there, I mean, well, Dalton Solver, first of all, #1 hype man in the history of the
Classic,
world,
Right.
classic.
wearing his St. Patty suspenders. That was so funny to see him
Yeah,
on the jumbotron.
weapon.
But I mean, everyone's reaction to your first punch. I think you brought him in, you clocked him right in the face, and everyone's like, "Holy, like you know what? Like this guy means business."
Yeah,
And then that jersey that you wore, didn't it got torn, didn't it? And
yeah. It
then
was like ripped. It was probably like ripped down to like my belly button area.
somebody, like, I don't know who it was, but they spent like 586 on the auction for it, and
Yeah,
hopefully it's hanging up on a wall somewhere. That's pretty
I
cool.
would hope it's somewhere. I hope it's not fixed at all. But yeah, I mean, like that thing's got. It was torn down more than halfway and had blood on it. So
Yeah, that's
you want
that's
to pay
crazy because
you want to pay $600 for it? You'd be my guy.
I think Priolo's got torn because he got into a fight earlier in that game.
Yeah, his was torn too, and then I think mine and his were the damaged ones, but I think ours went for the highest in that game, which was funny.
That's crazy.
Usually
And
The
not.
Bandits are the Fighting Irish.
yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
exactly. But I mean, we went to a bunch of great ones. I think our first, I don't even remember what our first game was. We went to a whole bunch, but the
Yeah.
Philly game was very memorable. The Riptide
We
game
had the
was
whole
great.
family in for the Philly one, like all of us were up
Yeah,
there
we
for
had the
that. That
whole
was
family in
great.
for that
That's
one.
awesome.
Uh,
I had a good game that one. That was like
Yeah.
that was my best game in the NLL, I think, points wise.
yeah, I think you scored a Hattie at least, I think, in that game.
Yeah, I think I was like 4-5 or something like that.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then well, Lily, we don't have to mention the referees in that game because our whole family was screaming at him the whole time. But just remember, Dane Smith getting
Someone had to.
butt ended in the chin. He gets a 2-minute roughing penalty, and then when we look at the ref the wrong way, we get 5 minutes. And yeah,
That seemed to be the case.
yeah. I mean, the referees are horrible. We let them hear it every night. I don't know how you guys react on the bench when you hear 19,000 strong chanting "Ref, you suck," but I mean that really gets me fired up.
Well,
I
you
love
know
it.
what? When they do it, I'm like, well, we don't have to talk. I think they
Yeah.
understand.
Yep. And you can ignore it all you want, but I know that you can hear us. I know you
Oh
can hear
no,
everything
we
we
can
say.
hear you. Yeah, and so
Yep.
do they. Bandit, you can hear everything, man. Like I love it when I'm coming out of like a TV timeout or something like that, and I'm like walking out to get the ball or I'm walking onto the floor, and all you can hear is people going nuts. It's awesome.
Oh, it's great.
You don't really notice it when you're playing. You're trying to like listen to obviously around you.
Yeah.
Take a second, you can hear it. You're like, holy.
And I mean, I think Lily was going to ask a very similar question, but all they do is play bangers in Banditland. They only play good songs. So
Fantastic.
is it easy to like block out the music or?
Yeah, usually I don't really notice it to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because like
Except the
every
other day
time
when
you
they put
guys
on
are
John
out there,
Denver.
Oh
When they
yeah,
put
no,
on-
you
Oh,
heard
yeah.
everybody singing John
we were
Denver.
singing that on the bench because that was the kind of when we were like, screw it. And Phrase started singing and it was hilarious.
that's so funny. No, because like every time you guys are out there and like one of my favorite songs will come on, I'll like lean over to like Trev and our other brother Jake, and I'm like, how are they not out there dancing right now? I'm like, if I was out there, but I mean, I guess it makes sense if you're focusing on the game like you're supposed to.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think I'm just like I would be out there dancing this whole time.
I mean, I would be out there. Well, first of all, if I was on the Bandits, I'd be like, well, this is a great song, but I got to get focused right now.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
You kind of listen, you're like, oh, no, okay, can't hear it. And then let's go.
I don't know what song this is. But when is it? Little Thursday is the lacrosse night
Yep.
at Salem Field for
Yeah,
the
the
Bisons.
15th.
Yeah, so there's the celebration going on at Alumni Plaza, and then right after is the Bisons game. Will you be there for that game? Because I'm still trying to trade shifts at work, and
I'll
I'm
be.
trying to be at the celebration and at the Bison's game after that. But
I'll
I
be
don't
at
know if
both.
you ever been to a Bison's game, but those games are electric too.
I haven't. I heard they're awesome.
I think we
They're so
lead
much
the
fun.
international league in triple A average attendance. So I mean,
Wow.
Buffalo, you put a sports team in Buffalo, they are going
You're
to
gonna like them.
they're gonna
Hmm.
like them. Yeah, that's why I
Yeah,
keep saying bring back the Destroyers, that arena football team. Like have
that'd
them
be
play in the
awesome.
summer. I'd be a season ticket holder in a heartbeat.
That would be crazy. That'd be funny.
I think it'd be great. But Lily, I think that this year going, or I mean, from all the games we went to this year going into next year, I was telling Tony this on my other show, and Brad, you could probably agree with me on this. The first title in 15 years for the Bandits, or first professional Buffalo sports team to get a title in 15 years. Um, do you feel like that the floodgates could be open and this could turn into a dynasty type of deal? Because we've seen the Rochester Nighthawks. They finally got that one in like 2010. And then they ripped off like three more championships in a row. Became that dynasty. I think Matt Vince was the goalie for that team, now that I mention it. But do you think maybe this could be a dynasty on the rise?
Yeah, I don't want to jinx it, but if you look at the track history and you look at the age of all of our leading producers and you kind of think of like where this is going and where this could be heading in that direction.
Yeah, I think so too. I got all the faith in the world. And I,
Yeah.
I just think because I
I'll
think the
tell you what, nobody's satisfied with one.
yeah.
Yeah.
No. No, you better believe none of the fans would be was satisfied either. They're going to be right back in that same spot next year, hopefully in their same season tickets, and continuing to push that narrative that the bands are the best, and I think that they truly are the best. They're at least the best this year, for sure. And I think you guys have a great shot at taking it next year if you just work on the same stuff. And the thing that should be scary to the rest of the league is what happens next year if all of you guys stay healthy. Like we saw 14-4 season overcoming a ton of adversity, which was something that we really didn't see last year in 2022. It's a whole different perspective when you have to overcome something. And that's why I mentioned that ESPN 30 for 30 type of thing where things are looking low. They make this miraculous, I don't even want to say turnaround because you were never really out of it, but overcoming just adversity in general.
Yeah, well, for sure. I mean, 14-4 could have been 10-8, right?
Yeah.
Or 9-9 or whatever. There was a lot of close ones we had to pull out, missing some guys. So, we got the job done and we have good depth and great trust in everybody, right? And everybody can play. And we do it for the guys who can't play. And Josh was out, he wanted to be playing the whole time. McCulley was out, he wanted to be playing the whole time. You pick up the slack, you win games, and you move on. It's just what we do. So, but yeah, exactly, right? I mean, I think, yeah, maybe last year that 14-4 was a little bit different because the 14, like it was kind of just the number to have. Like, there was a lot of games we just should have won. Like, wasn't anything too bad, like 16-10 and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Like,
Can't win them all. That's
right?
the thing.
Offense was
Yeah.
exploding. You drop the odd one here and there, but nothing too bad. But then this one, yeah, like you said, right? Like we had to overcome things. We had to work. We had to play differently, and you made it work, right? Like we had a bunch of guys in the room who just believed and just made it work. So it was huge for us.
Were you guys
One hell of a
following?
team.
Oh, what was that, Lo?
She said it was one hell of a team for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, from top to bottom, very good.
Were you guys watching the Roughnecks Mammoth game, or were you guys like, I don't really care who wins because we're gonna win no matter what type of
No,
thing?
we watched it. We watched this first half, and then it was like we all got together that night. At least all the Buffalo guys did. And we watched the first half, and then I went home and I kind of watched the second half a little bit. But then as soon as you found out, like, it's Colorado, like, a bunch of messages just hit the group chat, right? Everyone's like, exactly who we wanted. Let's get going. Like, it
Go
was like,
time.
exactly. It's like, hey, they want it. Let's go. So
Uh,
we're like, yeah.
and we saw the celebration after Game 3 in that locker room. I mean, that looked absolutely electric. Who were some of the lives of the party in that locker room besides everybody? I saw the champagne showers, the after party at Cobblestone looked pretty fun. Who was the life of the party in the post game locker room celebration?
Dude, I don't even know. Everybody was losing it. Like, that's crazy. Obviously, like Dane and Josh and Pre and, our leaders. And Sweets was fun, and Vino was having a blast, dude. It was everybody, man. It was impossible not to be on cloud nine. Like, I don't know if anybody really led the charge because everybody was on the same level.
Yeah, I saw that in the post-game interview. I mean, it was just so loud around us, like when they had the microphone at midfield, just trying to listen to what Steve was saying, and then Nick Weiss was chirping him that he didn't get a championship hat, and he's like, "Oh, I didn't even get one. I wasn't even paying attention." I love what you guys did with the whole with the net, and you cut out little pieces of the net and stuck it in the hat. That was pretty cool to see.
Yeah.
And then obviously
Definitely
you
nice
got,
to see everyone hold up the trophy too.
oh
That
yeah,
was
Yeah,
huge.
that was sweet. That was the best moment of
and
my life.
golfing with the trophy. How'd you do with how did your putt game go when you were golfing with the trophy?
Only Mickey rolled one just because we were like, let's just take the one take to do it. And it wasn't one take. I think it took us about 9 tries to make it 2-footer.
Hopefully that was like hole 1 or 2, because you doing that on like 18, that's a risky
That was
move.
on hole 9.
Hole 9, so right in
Yeah.
the middle, right in the
Yeah.
middle of the course.
It was on hole 9. It was funny. We're like, oh, that'd be entertaining, right? But like we were out at Cloverbank playing, and all the pros and everything and all the maintenance guys are like Bandits fans, right? So we were kind of buzzing around, taking photos with everybody, just golfing and keeping the celebrations going, and it was good. That was a good day. We played 27 holes with the cup. It was fantastic.
That's great. I
Yeah,
mean,
it was
just
awesome.
even leaving that arena, Lily, you can agree with me on this. Just the whole city, everybody honking their horns, walking out of Alumni Plaza. Everybody's just like waving their rally towels around. It seemed like nobody wanted to leave. Like everyone wanted to keep the celebration in the building. And
Yeah.
then driving home, because we have to take the Skajakwita Expressway or go underneath it. The Peace Bridge was lit up in orange, which was very, very cool to
I
see.
saw pictures of that actually. I was like, that is crazy.
I mean, and I kept saying, like, no other city cares about their lacrosse team than
No,
Buffalo.
like
Buffalo is
Buffalo,
the
no.
top talk of the town. They're the top dogs.
Nowhere
Yeah,
does.
Trev.
And it's awesome. We've been taking the trophy to like different places and stuff, and everywhere we walk in, people are just losing it.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
I think I
There's a
said
great
to
taco
Trev,
place near where I live, called TCB. It's in Elmwood Village.
Oh, nice.
It's so good. And we brought the trophy there the other night. The owners were there, and yeah, we had a time. It was fun, man. It was sweet.
That's sweet.
that's so cool. Yeah, I think I was saying to Trev, like, how does Colorado even have like the gall to like call their fans the Loud House? I'm like, have you stepped foot in Buffalo before?
Right? I know. I think it's a nickname probably from a little bit less or a couple years ago, but yeah. You know what? When you get in there, I'll give them a little bit of credit. It is pretty loud, but they just pump tunes through there, and it's so
Yeah.
like I don't know if it's the fans. The music is so loud,
I
and
was
they
gonna
have a
say,
good
yeah.
building. I'm not gonna chirp their fans because they have a good building, right? Like I would love to see every other building like that. Like I wish New York would get 10, 11,000 people. I
Panther
wish
City.
everybody, right? Yeah, like
Yeah.
I wish they would get 11,000 people. Like we're gonna be the only one with 19,000, but I wish everybody was getting over 10,000 people in their building and getting everything going. That's what would grow the game, and it's going to get to that point because it is such a spectator friendly sport. But I'm with you, Lily. I understand where you're coming from.
I mean, me and my brother, we were driving to Southern Tier watching game 2, but I was coming out of work at like 4, and it was just after the game started. Gertler is just ripping the Loud House. Like he's like, the only reason why this is called the Loud House is because all they do is pump crowd noise and they pump music, and their announcer is loud. He's like, if you go to the KeyBank Center, that place is genuinely loud with actual humans making those sounds.
Yeah, human making the noises.
Right. Like Gertler was just having a field day on that. I think he was just pissed that that the refs were calling everything that was soft against you guys that game, and he was just like, you know what?
That was a tough reffing performance that game.
No, they were. It looked like they really weren't ready for that type of level. But before we end this, I mean, Lily, you see this jersey right here. We have to talk a little bit about the uniform situation because it seems like, well, since the NHL sold their soul to the devil to Fanatics, they used to have this reverse retro concept. I'm wearing this one. I can't know if you can really see it, but it's the 2008 black jersey. It's the Road Blacks. And
Yeah.
this was the 2009 alternate. I'm saying bring at least either the white, this one, or this one back as an alternate because I
Dude,
love the threads that you're wearing now.
I want the one with the eyes on it.
Oh, yeah. If I spin
That
this
one's
around,
super
it's the
cool.
one with the
That
eye.
one with the eyes?
Yep. Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I take it off the wall, but yeah, that's the one with the zoomed in face and the 9 on the front. That one's awesome.
Yeah.
I love the old Reebok ones, just a bit better though. But I love the 90s threads that we're working with now. I don't know if you've ever seen like the early 2000s ones. Um, but those ones, they look like the ones you're wearing now, but they had this logo right in the middle. I'm saying bring at least one of those back, or at least for
Yeah,
game
there's
one.
a lot of good looks.
Yeah,
There's been a lot of good looks.
and
But
especially
we'll
throwing
see.
the
I'm
helmets that
with
you're
you. I think
wearing now.
we should bring back an alternate.
Yeah,
If we brought back an alternate, that would be sweet. I'm all for that. So I'm with you.
Toronto has an
Yeah, my
alternate.
favorite's the black one.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, they
this
do
one.
their black and yellow ones.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that one's my fave.
yeah, this is one of my favorites for sure. It's the ultimate like JT jersey. Whenever I
Right?
see the one with the face on it or with the eyes, I think of whose house over there.
Yeah, that's good. I
I mean,
like that.
he's the man, and I think wearing those jerseys, he set like an NLL record of like 18 points in a game or something.
I think it was
Wearing those
17, but I think it
17.
wasn't that one. Yeah.
Yeah, that was against Toronto too, and that must have been a fun game to go to. But
Yeah, I would assume that would have been something else.
and then speaking of that post game celebration, speaking of JT as well, I forgot to get into this earlier, but that dude looked genuinely happy to finally get his first ring as a head coach. And Lily, you can probably agree with me on this too, but that dude 100% has the ability to shotgun beers in the locker room. Like no, I can just see him being the guy that opens it up, doesn't even need like car keys or anything, just kind of pokes the hole in the can. That dude can definitely shotgun a beer, and nobody can tell me otherwise.
Dude, that guy can do anything he wants, man. He's the ultimate Buffalo Bandit. Like he's been on all 5 championship teams now, and now he's got the 4 as a player, 5 as a coach, or if sorry, 1 as a coach. But
Yep.
yeah, he was. You could just see it in his eyes, man. He's just happy, like get over the hump, finally, kind of see it. But if there's anybody that's not satisfied with 1, it's probably that guy. Like for anybody, true competitor, like a winner, that guy knows how to get it done. Like he knows that one isn't going to be the only one.
That he's got the heart of a champion for sure.
Yeah.
And I mean, this dude can literally do anything he wants. I think he's a math teacher by day, and I think he's a lacrosse god by night. And he apparently he's got a ring as a coach now. He's got 4 as a player. I think back in '92 when the Bandits won their first title, he scored in overtime on a
Yeah.
behind the back shot. I mean, the
Yeah,
dude's
5
the all-time goat.
5 Yeah.
Yep, he's the
Imagine
goat.
Johnny T being your math teacher.
No,
Crazy.
that'd
Like,
be
how do you even go about that? Like,
And not being a lacrosse fan or something would be
right.
nice.
yeah. I mean, like, and calling him like Mr. Tavares or something, and not like
Yeah.
JT or Johnny,
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
I feel like you have to be a lacrosse fan if he's your math teacher because he's the all-time goat.
Man, I bet he doesn't tell a soul about it. Honestly, he's just that kind of guy. Like, I bet he's just like, I'm a math teacher. Like, it is what it is. But
Yeah,
probably he's just living double life, man. He goes to school, math teacher, and then he comes here and he's a god.
Hannah
Oh.
Montana.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, Brad, thank you for coming on the show, man. It's always great to talk to a Bandit, especially after a huge W that you guys got. I believe it's already close to a week. It is a week ago, isn't it? Today's Friday or Saturday?
6 days ago, yeah.
Yeah, 6 days
Yeah.
ago, almost a week. It's absolutely electric. So thank you for coming on again, man. This has been awesome, and congratulations. Keep on partying until the start of next season.
Well, dude, thanks, man. Appreciate you. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. And Lily, got any final things to say for your first
Well,
time on Banditland Boulevard?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. This was
Yep.
awesome to get a chance to, talk on here. It was super cool. Thank you so much for a great season. It was so great to like follow you guys and, see all this win. And that was just amazing. So I can't thank you guys enough for that.
No worries. Thank you guys for being fans. You guys make it fun. You make it easy. So glad we can all do this together.
Yeah,
Absolutely. And
always.
all we got to say is, rest up, heal up, start training for next season because, we got season tickets and we'll be there every single night.
Hey, won't disappoint.
Let's go. All right, man. Sounds good. Thanks for coming on, Brad. And once again, congratulations on the title.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
And for all the listeners at Banditland Boulevard, take care, and we'll see you next time.